Hello. Check. All right. So this week we've got three good days for what I would like to trade. We've got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Those are going to be the days I'm really focused on taking some trades. I'll still show up Monday and Tuesday. There's no news on Monday, so keeping that in mind. I'll be probably trading a smaller size on Monday and Tuesday, and I'll only really be trading the open. The 8:30 news embargo still could have a like if obviously if we're souping a old low, relative equal lows or whatever right at 6:30, then obviously I'll get in there. But that in the open, and that's it for those days. As for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, full day of possible setups. We also got the 8:30 news, obviously. So should offer some good setups Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, sizing down, looking for possibly more zoomed in, smaller time frame price action to look for trades. As for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, will be obviously zoomed out for a kind of a bigger move. All right. So keeping that in mind, um, still at all-time highs. Let me get my notes up here. Um, displaced. YM's displaced all-time highs. I'm sure everyone else has too, besides Nasdaq. We've got quite the gap down here, though. Let me put some more notes here. Weekly IFEG. That's a serious one. And then we got this old one that got respected. But anyways. So yeah, we're kind of displacing. If we look at the daily, we have displaced. So daily, so the daily has displaced above the prior all-time high. And then even on the next day, Friday, we have started to create a displacement. And then on the 4 hour, we have. So 4 hour, we've definitely displaced. We have these old relative equal highs here. Um, where's the magnet? We've got a 4 hour fair value gap. And then another one here. This shouldn't be red. All right, so we've got some bullish fair value gaps here. I know that I was kind of thinking there could be a short, but just looking at the price action, there's no reason to get short, at least on the higher time frame, obviously. So yeah, just keeping that in mind, we have old relative equal lows here too. But these highs should be a very nice area of interest here as we take these out. Down into the 4 hour fair value gap. 1 hour, we got a little fair value gap here, but it's kind of been inversed, sort of in a way. We got a, oops, we got a bearish one here. A bearish fair value gap here. Got a 1 hour bearish fair value gap. got an inverse fair value gap, but it's been filled in, so I'm just going to kind of leave it. As a red one. No, I'll change it to a old green one. All right, just up at those highs, we've got some levels there. But yeah, we have these lows here. I mean, we did come into this 4-hour, shoot up higher, failure to displace above this high, and then we have a displacement there, low fair value gap that did get almost filled in. And yeah, I think this, if we're gonna come down, I think this fair value gap probably won't hold, and it will probably come down here and use this order block as a nice area for a possible bounce. So inside of here, there's nothing really, but just this range here. I mean, we do have big old wicks there. No clear, like, good looking order blocks. Just giant wicks. Just off of this move, this is the order block, and then we have an order block there. So you could kind of call that like a propulsion block, maybe. Let's jump to the 30 just to see if there's anything else. We have the propulsion block in there that we traded. Old propulsion, whatever. So yeah, we have a nice little soup here. We trade back into that, giving us the full expansion. Up into here, we did have a fair value gap, but it's been completely disrespected. We've got a 30-minute bearish fair value gap here. 30-minute. Excuse me. Yeah, 15-minute, it's not there, but I will leave that just there to keep that in mind. So we do have no news Monday, Tuesday, so I will be zooming in here to give me that look for a setup. But here, I mean, this is lining up with that move down pretty perfectly. So I'd be looking for this to be an area of interest for sure. And then we've got like old relative equal highs here too. Cool. Yeah, so just keep that in mind. Yeah, it looks like we are heading down. Nothing super clean. I mean, the 1 hour does have that gap, and then the 15-minute does have a very clear displacement down, but no clear market structure shift yet on the 15-minute. Jumping to the 5, then now we start to actually have one. We had a shift here. So clear shift here. We came back up into that on the 5-minute. Rebalancing that 1 hour candle, and now we've actually shifted away from that. So we do have a small shift here. It could easily come up into here, this 1 hour, and then still, still head higher into this and then reject if it's going to keep going down. But yeah, here's the very clear order block. It may, yeah, I mean, that's an old thing. So we have lows down here, we have the soup, and then the rocket ship out of there, and then we have this opening order block here. So I'm just gonna keep that there for reference. I think it would make sense to trade into the CE of that. Though there is a big wick there, but I think we'd want to come down into this range and soup these highs, these old highs. So, and then probably take this high out. And so yeah, 4 hour lining up with an order block here. The real order block is here. So this order block here does line up with that, tagging the CE roughly. So I think I would trust this one, but obviously we'll be looking at other things as well before we just get long just based on that. Oh, we got really easy low resistance liquidity down here. Definitely going to take that out at least. We don't need to come down into here, but we totally could. We do have this 4 hour fair value gap here, so keeping that in mind. We could just come down and respect one of these guys. So knowing which one will reverse will be kind of the hard part. I think we would want to come below this. I just think there's too many stops. Probably using this as a stop loss here on the 5 minute, right into that 4 hour. So sweep that. Maybe on the 1 minute, there's something in here. I mean, yeah, yeah. Little BPR there. So we'll be watching this little order block here to see what happens. I'd even adjust this a bit. So yeah, man. So yeah, again, to watch that. That's my area of interest there. Obviously, higher time frame, we do have these lows here, and then this area back down into the all-time high. Can't get too zoomed in, but on the daily, yeah, we have displaced on out of there, and then we'd look for maybe a 50% retrace, which fills in that prior fair value gap, and then if we came lower, we would be coming back down into this block here. Will we take this out? We don't know. I feel like we would probably not. If we came all the way down here, that would, yeah, I mean, it could happen. But at least I'll be looking for a short to rebalance this candle. I don't think I'll be taking a short. We'll see once we look at some other stuff. But I do think we probably fill this 4 hour gap, most of it. And we do have this one down here, and we've definitely shifted above and out of here. So, but just keeping this higher time frame in mind, I mean, this is an order block from here to here, and it still lines up with this area of interest into this 4 hour. So it would be very likely we come rebalance that and maybe head higher. That's kind of my idea. But yeah, initially it does make sense we could get a short down into there. We have a big wick here, so maybe we come up into like the CE of that wick. I haven't even looked at up here in the shorter time frame. So yeah, we got 1 hour fair value gap, we got 30-minute fair value gap, and then we even have this like balanced price range area. So we'll be looking into this for maybe a short if things are lined up on the other charts. So yeah, definitely long biased on, like on the weekly. As for the daily, I do think we probably rebalance this candle and we could definitely have a bearish week. So as for a bearish week, I would expect us to sweep some of this liquidity up here on the smaller time frame, come down into here, and then maybe bounce up into there, maybe take out this high again. And then if we're going to have a reversal week, that would make sense. We go up, down, or up, down, up, and then come back down here maybe to close the week, or we already come down here and then we bounce again onto the end of the week. So that's possible. Otherwise, the bullish price action we'll see on Monday what happens. Can't really project a weekly fair value gap, or sorry, a weekly profile. But as for the daily, it does seem like we had at least, you know, work this range out a little bit. I don't think we're going to have a massive move. Can't expect a massive move at least tomorrow. So yeah, I'm just going to be looking for what happens on the open today and then what happens tomorrow. Will not be trading anything until the 6:30 possible manipulation if there is one, and then the open. So I'll be keeping an eye on those time frames. Other than that, I mean, this looks pretty bullish. We are, huge shift and then rebalance of the wick and then a move up displacing, and then we have a shift on the 4 hour. So far, definitely bullish bias. There's no reason to be looking for shorts, like on the higher time frame at least. So yeah, I'll be looking for longs into here. I have an alert set. As for the Dow Jones Industrial Average, we had a gap up that's been filled, and then a major big gap here. Obviously, that's going to be there. Oh man. So big gap up. That's why it's possible we could have a reversal and we'd come fill some of this in. So eventually that probably will happen, but can't project anything yet. And on the 1 hour, we do have, wow, that's pretty clean there. Dow Jones Industrial, we have relative equal lows here. So definitely going to keep that on alert. I almost want to compare that with the IWM. Why is this not? Okay, there we go. What happened to my lows? Oh, IWM. Okay, whoops. I don't know why I did that. All right, so yeah, we've got these relative equal lows here. So yeah, the same area of interest there, and then the same similar highs where I was actually looking at that I said I'd keep them in mind. So yeah, I'd be looking for a move down either inside of this range. Maybe we come and we had a big gap, little gap there. So that gap got filled, but then we had a nice little gap there that has not been filled. So it makes sense to come down into here. Do we take out this wick low? Don't know. Maybe on this chart we do, maybe on this one we don't. Seems like we'd probably want to, either bounce right into here, which would line up with being right into there. So yeah, very clean. Definitely going to set an alert as we take that out. So yeah, I'm going to keep this on watch. But yeah, we do still have these lows here. So if we created SMT here, then I wouldn't probably think we'd come down there. And I think we did. NASDAQ came down there, so that kind of confirmed that. So that's why I like this. I like this area. Don't know if we'll take this out, but there's a gap down. There's two gaps here, and a pretty big one there. And then another one here right into these highs. So lining up with this order block, maybe we'll respect that. I can't remember where this ends. So let's put the, so wow, that is quite the big gap. We're gonna make that pretty dark. And just label it fair value gap just because it's, the time is kind of tricky there. So yeah, little order block. Yeah. So an order block and then a propulsion block. Wow. Yes, I do like this a lot. I really do like this a lot. I'm gonna be looking for along there. There's a propulsion block there that didn't really get. I mean, it was already. It did get. Did it come down first? We gapped up. We need to see what happened here. Ah, we came up first. We came up first, came all the way down into that gap, and then created a little propulsion block there, kind of. And then we never traded into it. But too small time frame. We did end up delivering price either way. Yeah, can't get too zoomed in there. So yeah, really like this long idea. So yeah, that's my idea for the Dow. Moving on to ES. So yeah, big displacement out so far. Very similar. The daily, we do have very clean daily fair value gaps. Very nice. Let's capitalize that daily. Let's make it a little bit more transparent. So yeah, this is definitely an interesting one. We've got old gaps that we've marked out there too. So yeah, big gap up, another regular trading hours gap. Let's do ES and SPY here, and then look at that in a minute. So ES does have a fair value gap here, but the way this candle closed makes me not care that much about it. I think it probably would come lower. We've got the 4-hour gap lined up with the daily, literally perfectly. So this, I really like that. But as for price action here, nothing else. But yeah, the daily has clearly shifted. And I'd expect us to take out Friday's low. So yeah, this is definitely the area I'd want to long. That totally doesn't mean we need to go down there, but that's what I'd be looking for. We do have this area of interest here on the 1 hour. And we've got old relative equal highs. So that's pretty similar to what we saw on the Dow. Um, Still think we could easily, did we shift above this? Not very cleanly. We did here, but if this gets rebalanced in the next candle, then I wouldn't really trust it. So don't know if I trust that. We've got too many smooth lows here. We could bounce, but I would look for something here, and if we did trade down into there, we do have a shift, technically. Got a 1 hour there, lined up with the daily gap, new day opening gap here, and then would order block very clearly here. So we got the inversion. All right, we'll just move this way. There. And we've got a little inversion there. We'll mark that as a different green. It's too small. We'll label that as orange. No, we'll do yellow because orange I use for order blocks. So there's the inversion area, and then we have the obvious order block here lined up with this order block. That's a 1 hour. Oops. 1 hour order block, and then we got a block there. But I've seen these get this low be taken a lot. And it's still holding this, so we'll see. 30, wait. So 1 hour, we've inverted this same as Dow Jones. One hour inversion there. Nice. I'm expecting this to come down into here at least, and then maybe bounce back up and to fill that and head back lower. So shorts they seem like they could play out. Okay. So yeah, old highs, order block, takes the high, kind of comes down, respects this area. We've got SMT there with NASDAQ. So I like that low still. I still think this range could hold. 15-minute, there's the order block inside of there. That's a very clear order block. I would not expect us to break this, especially, oh, I don't know. I think this would be a good long area. So we'll kind of, I'm going to set an alert here. I would expect us to take those lows out at least. Set an alert there, come down, respect the CE of this order block. Here's the real order block here. Actually, that's the real one down there. But on the higher time frame, this is the order block. Okay, let's not get too analytical. So yeah, order block, CE of that lines up perfectly. I'm actually just gonna highlight that really quick and just make it a darker orange. Maybe like that orange. There we go. Internal order block there. And I'm actually gonna mark the high there too. I'm just gonna mark this whole thing out. There. So yeah, that's a 15-minute. That's actually a 1 hour order block. So 1 hour order block, this lines up the exact same. So yeah, I'd be looking for this. We have like we have my setup, but it's like the inverse of it. Usually we look for we do have the first low here, and then we came up, and then I would be very interesting is if we bounced here, and then we came down, and then that would be my playbook. But we actually kind of already have it because we have these highs here, and then we would take those out, and then at least fill internally as a target. Interesting. So yeah, I think this definitely is a play I'd be looking for. I could literally, I need to probably put an order there just blindly when the market opens. This is my playbook setup, but an inverted. If you flipped this side over to here, it'd be like a weird inverted form of it. So yeah, I do like this as a draw of liquidity. So that's why a short could still also make sense. So I'll be looking for reasons to get short. Um, this is pretty clean to me. 5 minute, sorry, 15 minute, no clear shift yet, even though we've had the fair value gaps form. And then on the 5 minute, we did get a shift. So, and then this continued down. So we've shifted at least this prior price action. So we could bounce still. But yeah, I do expect this probably offers a nice little bounce there because this is a nice little area of interest here, little BPR thing. But yeah, this is way stronger. So gonna look for this long, and then I'm also thinking this could actually give me the short though to my long. So not gonna just take it blindly, obviously. Be looking for a very clear setup fractal on the smaller time frame. So I'll be looking for some sort of reason to get short. I would probably need the flow to help me with that, just because not gonna just start shorting highs because I think we'll go lower randomly. We don't need to. We could easily bounce here. You know, we don't need to trade down into here. Though this is a nice area. And it did kind of support that as a like propulsion type thing. And I'd look for a long down into here and I would risk the low and I'd look for at least a 50% retrace of whatever range we have above. All right. Dang, man, that's clean too. Clean, clean. So very similar long on ES, but might be cleaner due to the playbook setup model of uh, a highs or lows sweep already there. Yep. I also like a short if it happens using um, that as a draw liquidity, but obviously waiting for a clear shift and flow to agree. So, just quickly looking at the flow, calls coming up, price coming down, puts coming up with price coming down. So that's just following price there. This is also following price, but way more bullish than bearish. Way more bullish. So yeah, a manipulation into the lows and a I don't know, that's just bullish. Flat out. Flat out bullish. All we did have a drop. So they did take puts there and they did continue climbing those puts. And they did start taking calls into this up move. And they really dumped them there. And they really got short there. But alas, calls did continue to climb. So I think they are getting more short here. So I do that supports my whole thesis right there. Um, doesn't support a short though. I don't think it would support a short. It's too unclear. But yeah, if the chart sets something up, I think that's enough reason to get in, you know, a third of my size just to catch a little move. So yeah. Anyways, Q's, you know, puts did rise there. So that's enough for me, I think, to like a short because Q's did come up into the end of the day. Did it? Yeah. I mean, yeah. Doesn't count the last hour, I guess. And IWM very clearly bullish, and call volume really coming down though as into this flat area. And they did get more short there, though they are still getting long. And then they took profits on their calls and they got even more short. But but still bullish. So I think that supports, an intermediate move down but then still up. So yeah, I like that. I really think that lines up with what I say. Always ends up happening like that. It's just funny. So that's my confirmation tool to be even more confident there. Looking at, now that we've looked at ES, let's quickly look at SPY just to see if there's any differences or alignments. We have the gap. We'll mark that. Nice big gap. Nothing really else. Let's get zoomed out a bit. We've got the same fair value gap there. We've got a same. Wait, what? Is this? This is just too hard to look at. All right. Oh, all right. What is this order block? This order block is this order block. And it does not look like it would want to hold. I don't know. It kind of does. Actually, yeah. That would line up if it came down and filled this little new day opening gap. Oh, there's a big gap there. Let's mark that as blue because that's a new day opening. Whatever. No, we'll just mark as blue. I like that. This came in balance, this fair value gap, creating somewhat of a propulsion block. So that literally lines up perfectly. I wish it would have shown me my price. So this block here is the exact same block. And then we'd probably come down into that. So it'd probably come down some pretty deep into here. So I'll set an alert here as we touch that. Probably there. Wow, yeah. That lines up pretty good. We just got smooth lows here. They aren't equal, but we could come down into here. Same thing, where we could respect this, but I do think it would probably get taken. So that all lines up really well too. Yeah, interesting. Seems like we've already got our setup, so don't want to get too overwhelmed with the other price action, but definitely still need to do it. All right, now for the little lagger boy, NASDAQ. Internally, it has created a nice big shift there, but the way it's failing above this high is pretty noteworthy, unlike the others. We've got a big daily fair value gap here. Oops. Daily. We've got the regular trading hours gap, and then we've got the 4-hour that I just changed. Nice. So we got a 4-hour lined up with the daily. That's pretty nice. And a nice little low. We've got a 4-hour here that did get respected very cleanly. And now since then we've been bouncing. Nice little balanced price range type look down here. Coming down, kind of respecting that old 4-hour fair value gap. So we'll kind of leave that there. We'll put that there. Okay. Nothing on the 4-hour though, except relative equal highs. Definitely think these get taken. So NASDAQ might actually be the one that gets the big move, honestly. 1 hour, nothing super clean. We've got a bearish inversion here that we have actually created a little shift there. So 1 hour bullish did get respected and then disrespected. But yeah, we took out the low. So just interesting to note that. But yeah, Nasdaq did create that SMT. We'll look at that later. 30 minutes. Nice area still. Pretty ugly price action. Not something I would want to long any of this. It's just too tricky. Maybe we come back down and respect that again. I don't know. In the context, we do have the daily. So maybe we literally come down and take out that low. If we come down, we take out that low, and then everybody else holds their range. So that would be very good confirmation. Look for SMT exactly where we're looking to get long. That's obviously what we'll be looking for to finish off the trading model. 15 minutes, but any sort of SMT doesn't necessarily take out the low. Could just be someone takes out a lower low, and that's it. Alright, this is an interesting area. I mean, we did kind of soup this sort of block here with relative equal highs on it. So just gonna leave that. Are we even on the wire? Yeah, I'm just gonna delete that actually. Cool. 15-minute. We have a little bearish fair value gap there. And we did take the high technically there, and then a lower high there. So this is gonna heavily rely on SMT because it's not clear. I mean, equal highs, that's an obvious draw. And then very choppy range here. So there's just absolutely nothing. There's no gaps. Maybe in the 1 hour there's like a, just don't like how that's traded all the way into. I mean, this one was sort of respected, and then we came down and respected that wick. But yeah, I do think this may just head higher first, and maybe that's what gives us the confidence to possibly get small time frame, really low risk short for the long setup to occur later. And then we'll trade that into my long idea and then get long. Yeah, very clear highs, very ugly price action, very significant area here, taking out a low after taking out a high. So keeping this in mind, looking for like a maybe more clear, yeah, no. The entire candle would be, something in here. Maybe this order block gets respected, we'll see. But yeah, this is kind of that same order block that's on ES. And then we took out the high, didn't take out the low. So this is the only one I would kind of look for. All of this is kind of ugly. Maybe we come down and just still hold this one. That would, I mean, to take out this one, we'd have to literally probably take that one out. So probably you can probably trust this one, but you probably want to wait till it gets at least to the CE of that if you're gonna get long. But yeah, not super pretty. 5 minutes. Still very kind of significant area there too. And did get souped there. So yeah, I kind of like this whole ugly spot. Probably could offer a long, not my type of trading though by any means. Very ugly price action. Probably not going to trade NASDAQ, but I will be looking at the levels that it has. I'll be looking at that low there and the highs for SMT. But getting long into this is just not something I would like to do. I think it could offer something here. I mean, I do think it probably would bounce here, but at the same time, we could just take it all out, come down, create SMT. Very not, just not clear at all. There's just nothing to write home about. Yeah, not gonna trade NASDAQ. So yeah, the daily, just zooming out real quick. The daily has shifted, but maybe what we do is we just rebalance the wick here. That could be possible, you know, here to here. Let's just see what that lines up, how that lines up with everything. Yeah, same exact same exact areas that we were looking at. So yeah, I do think it could bounce here, just not my type of trading. So do think a long is clear, is there on NQ, but not clear and not my type. We'll be watching the highs and where we dig into as we trade ES and YM into my areas of interest. So yeah, just be looking at NASDAQ for like the confirmation tool. Right, actually before we do that, let's look at NASDAQ and then the Qs just for comparison. Oh, this might actually clear things up then, now that I think about it. So let's just look at the 1 hour. We've got a open, close, and open. So we got a little daily fair value, you got a daily gap there. Mark that as blue. Technically, there was a shift there aligned with that. So I do kind of like that. Let's make that green and make that here. Okay, so there is a little bit of bullishness here, which is why we did get that move. Took out these relative equal highs here, swept those, and then just completely rejected them. And which highs were these? Weird. Huge difference here in the candles. Weird. And then on that low, that happened overnight. Yeah, right here. Cool. That's what we want for. Okay, yeah, so we did soup. We've already souped the highs on Qs, and then we've created a bearish shift here. This is why it's important to look at this. And there was another little gap there. Interesting. Man, clearly respecting it. So yeah, this bounced here. Then yeah, now you could possibly get short here. We've had a soup. We've already traded that though into the futures. But yeah, very clear order block there, digging there. Wait. 4 hour. That's been rebalanced completely. And then what's this candle? That's the up candle out of the range. Okay. and then we came down and rebalanced that. So that's interesting. The new day opening gap. So that's very, 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 very clean there. This gap. Oh, wait. So this gap in the futures chart starts here and starts here. So on this candle here, from here down to, we just need to mark it on the regular trading hours. We're gonna get confused. Yeah, we need to mark that out. All right, there. Now we got the same one on. All right, so looking at the 5-minute there, man, I hate how it keeps doing that. So we've already kind of traded down into that already, and then we had that nice area here that the Qs is bouncing from, and then we have a soup of these highs already, though we did create new ones. So same draw on liquidity on both charts on the highs, though we could easily come down and fill this gap here. The low of this gap kind of lines up with this same area. So maybe we completely fill this and bounce there. So yeah, still not super clear, but it does make sense. I mean, we did technically have a little shift there, but it did immediately just get straight back traded down into. Marked a relative equal high, came back down respecting this order block. Maybe it takes this high and comes down. Maybe it takes this high and then comes down. But if it doesn't, this would be a long area if it doesn't take this high yet. Nice little order block soup there. That's going to be orange there. This is the order block to trust. And then like little breaker block there getting, not breaker, propulsion block got respected there. That was the long up into there. Relative equal highs now coming back down, trading into that little fair value gap. A little too complicated for me. I'm starting to get a little overwhelmed trying to think about what's going to happen there. Whew, little brain fog on that one. All right, regular trading hours. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense for bouncing there. But now we're rejecting. Oh, all right, we'll see what happens. But yeah, not the cleanest. And then we have SMT. Okay, now we can look at these guys. Oh, let's look at the 1 hour. All right, is it going to be stupid again? All right, here we go. So yeah, we had SMT. Let's just make sure that that is cleanly marked out so that there's no confusion here. So here was the lows. So SMT there. Nasdaq did take this high. there was SMT. Nope, no, none there. Cool. Yeah. So yeah, we just have these guys heading higher. Um, both are heading higher, and now they're both coming down. So cool. Nothing to write home about there. Maybe on the smaller time frame, but just not much there. We made the same high here. Relative weakness in Nasdaq again. So yeah, still think yeah. All right, I'm getting freaking tired. All right, Russell now as for the wild card here. So Russell has had the biggest move out of there. We've rebalanced everything here. This is the area of interest from before, which caused the sell-off there. Monthly, that's basically that little manipulation above that before the move down, so that's why I have that marked. Weekly, we do have a little fair value gap there. So yeah, that's there. Technically, we'll just line that up. Okay. And then we do have another one here, but it is not as clean. But it is there. And it's above these highs. So it is definitely significant. Daily, so yeah, we've shifted up here. Just quickly, yeah, same shit. Shifted above that, held that area so far. Kind of relative equal lows there on the daily, but we'll see as we zoom in. Got highs and kind of lows there, but on the 4 hour we don't. So yeah, we do have somewhat relative equal lows here, so that's definitely interesting. On the 4 hour, do tiny little fair value gap there. So definitely need to mark that. 4 hour. Okay. Got a 4 hour, got the highs. Nothing really else there. We do have it. Just nothing super clean. Big manipulation here. Order block. Held that CE of the order block. Tiny little shift there on the 1 hour, but not above the high. Nothing super clean. Definitely want alerts on both sides of this. 15 minute. Let's do 30 minute. 30 minute. Nothing. Big order block. Came down. Held these lows. Moved out. No shifts. There's a fair value gap there. Rebalance this. Little order block there that did get held. Inversion. Something happening there. Kind of a little wedge there. So could come take this low out again. Holding this order block so far, but it's just internal of the CE, so it makes sense that it would hold. Order block, blah 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 blah, dude. Nothing super clean here either. Not super clean. We'll have to look at IWM and then compare it. Oops. We want Russell here and IWM there. All right, wait. Before that, let's look at the regular trading hours as well, before we get confused again by all the different things. So yeah, big gap up. On the 1 hour, we do have a very clean fair value gap here. So yeah, regular trading hours for value gap there, causing price to, respect it. What the heck happened? Why isn't it there here? Oh, it is. I just didn't mark it out. All right. For some reason, it's different. Weird. All right, so yeah, we did have a shift there. It held and did get respected. 15 minutes. Oh, there's a gap there. Didn't see that. There is another blue weirdo daily, whatever, never training hours gap. So yeah, we came back down, perfectly respected that. Then we created the 1 hour one that we did come down and didn't tap into. We just traded down and then went away from it. And we inverted it here. All right, 15-minute inversion there on the regular trading hours after sort of trading into the 1 hour, and we did kind of displace away from that. But then if you look at the electronic trading hours, we're just coming back for it. Well, maybe we come up and then we come down and take that out, and then yeah. Tricky, very tricky, but it is a little, there is some areas there that I do like. So if we compare everything now, we have the SMT. We have weakness in the Russell, which is usually what happens before a nice big move up, and then we've created a little thing there, maybe come down. Okay, anyways, at these lows, we have, let's see, a bullish SMT with NASDAQ. So that kind of confirms this low still. And we had an SMT here too with the Dow that did get the SMT with same thing with NASDAQ. So there is bullish SMT there. I'm not going to mark it because it's too unclear, but bullish SMT, and then we do have a weakness here. Everyone else has taken out the high. Russell has failed. But we do have the SMT. We didn't ever deliver like everyone else did, and I do think we do want this high. So kind of unclear, but there are lows here, relatively cool lows. There are highs here. There is somewhat of an area there. Not looking to trade that. Okay, wait. Maybe we need to just get all these adjusted. Okay. Maybe on the Dow. The Dow comes down here, and if Russell starts to hold up, that'll be another long. Another long opportunity. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if we sell off here in at least the ES and the Dow, taking this low out, and then once we come into my area of interest, if Russell still is above this low, yeah, still above this low, then yeah, that's a long in Russell. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think it'd probably take out the low. It may even take this low out. Yeah, Russell not super clean to me. But yeah, if it's showing strength, if it's showing strength versus the Dow at that level, then yeah, but I don't think that's gonna happen. So, but I'll keep it in mind. Showing strength versus at that order block, but being cautious as to the further may occur if after that and it makes it. So yeah, definitely probably gonna trade the Dow or ES if that happens, and then look for our long and Russell, you know, if I already traded it, you know, or whatever. All right, well yeah, that's kind of the plan. Getting pretty tired here, so I do kind of want to take a break, but I do also want to look at currencies today. Haven't been doing my macro analysis on those, but I think I need to digest what just happened. I just did on the charts here. Um, just quickly, I'm going to look at the Dow Jones flow, see if there's anything significant. Yeah, I mean there is bearish flow there. Calls got absolutely dumped. So, and there is enough premium there to be significant. Calls got completely dumped. Uh, right into the high. So yeah, that kind of confirms if there's a short. If there is a short, it's going to be, you know, a 2022 model type short. We'll look for something similar, maybe a SMT with NASDAQ. So that's why I have alerts with everyone. And yeah, maybe Russell takes out the high. Maybe we get a long in Russell. Maybe I'm right. Maybe we just take out this low. That's a long in Russell first. Then we create the short, and then we get the long later on. Yeah, that could happen too. All right. Well, yeah, that's what I'll be watching for. Look for highs to be taken for a possible short as a dip down into the first may give R2Y a long SMT, which then takes the high and then gives a short into my long idea. All right, it's enough for that. I'm gonna end the stream. Yep, and I'll just do my own analysis on the currencies just because I'm kind of tired and